Now it's time for upgrade. Like I bought this Ender 3 like 2.5 years back, and since then it's been a great machine. The only thing that I've upgraded is this extruder that you're seeing in a red color to aluminum one, because the previous one was made of plastic and it only lasts for 2.5 years. So now it's time for upgradation, because things are getting advanced, like the AI and generative tools, image refining tool and all these things. So the world is getting pretty advanced, and it's 2023, which is also about to over. So I need to upgrade my printer, because I cannot like rely on this Ender 3. Otherwise it's a great machine, I would say, but as of 2023, no, it's not a great machine. So I wrote a few points that a new printer that I'm going to buy should fulfill those points. So first thing is the fast printing. Like that printer should be able to do fast printing from 250 to 500 millimeter. That's a major word, or you can say buzzword, or a marketing word used by most 3D printer manufacturers. And the second thing is it should cost less than $300. I don't want to spend like too much money on 3D printer. So it should cost less than like $300, because I already spent so much money on filament. So yeah. And the third point is it should come with a clipper, because given that this Ender 3 and many other printer comes with a Marlin, and Marlin is good, but that's like the old days. Now in new days, the clipper is the best, because it provides you the most control of your 3D printer and also unleashes the fast printing of a 3D printer. And the fourth thing is it should be wirelessly connected to my internet. Because given that the 3D printer, like the old one, this Ender 3, I have to like take out the SD card, put it in an SD card reader, then put that thing in a machine, then slice the STL file, then put it in an SD card, then put the SD card back into this machine, and then click, and then start printing, which was very tedious. And also it comes with a manual bed leveling. That's another like a major headache. So given that the new printer, like almost every single printer now equipped without a bed leveling, so that's not a point in my list. So that should be wirelessly connected, so that I can like access the printer from my desktop and upload the G code from there and start printing. So I don't have to like move too much or stand too much from my table. That would be much better and much streamlined process. So did I found that 3D printer? Yes, I did found that 3D printer. I'm gonna unbox it too. So let's begin. Okay, so this is our machine, the Elegoo Neptune 4, and which is really awesome. The first thing that I liked about this machine is these pads. They're like really awesome thing. I know this is like really small stuff. Most people just ignore this thing, but I think this is really best thing, because it just absorbs all the vibration from this fast machine. So these are like really best thing about this 3D printer. One of the best thing I would say. Then this Elegoo printer comes with a PI metal sheet, which is a like really good thing, because before that I was using this glass pad on my Ender 3, and which was like, glass bed is pretty awesome because like they don't bend, and if you have like warp beds, so these are like really good thing. But the thing is, these are heavy, so the PI metal sheet is like really best thing. Then the another best thing about this machine is this whole extruder plus hot end system. Let me just remove this cover. You have to actually unscrew this, which I already did. So you can see this thing comes with a NEMA 14 stepper motor, but you might be wondering, well, this is like really less powerful in comparison to NEMA 17 stepper motor. But the thing is, it comes with a gear reduction system. Because of that, it has like a lot of torque, enough torque I would say for the fast printing. And this thing comes with a 2 blower fan, which are like really big. From outside it might not look that big, but from here you can see these are like really big. And the small fan right here is a pot cooling fan. So the next thing is the hot end right here, which I've like already tested this machine a little bit before recording the review of this thing. So this is a nozzle. Well, I would say it's little bit shorter than the Volcano nozzle, but pretty longer than the E3D V6 nozzle. So I would say this is like highly recommended nozzle if you want to go with a fast printing. So you get 2 spare nozzles with the one which is already installed on your 3D printer. So this is Neptune 4 actually. So Neptune Neptune 4 Pro comes with a rail system on X and Y axis, but this one comes with the V-slot wheel. So actually I went with this one because it are like these are easier to replace. Well, that's a cope only because it was not available and it was little expensive than this one, and given that all it pays so much taxes on import duty and the European taxes, including the Indian taxes. So like this one is like costed me $300. For the American, this cost you like $250 something, I believe. So I was talking about these V-slot wheels. So make sure you tight these wheels before start printing, because most of the time these wheels will be pretty loose. So you have to tight these wheels. So be sure of that if you want better quality print. So make sure you tight these wheels, not too much but not too loose also.
Now let's talk about the port. So first port is the LCD display port, then there's USB port, then there's Type-C port, and then there's micro SD card port. So these are like 3 ports right here. Then there's Ethernet port 2. So you can connect this thing with your router in order to make this printer online and operate it from your computer.
But you might be wondering, well, this comes with the Ethernet port, so why not a Wi-Fi? Well, that's a pretty good question, because addition of Wi-Fi will cost them nothing, like they didn't add this thing. But given that your problem, there's always a solution. So you can use this USB port with a dongle like this and connect it to your USB port. And well, this is not gonna work by just connecting this Wi-Fi dongle, which costs you a few bucks into the USB port. All you have to do is to follow the given link in the description, because that's a video by which you can follow that guide. You have to do a few settings. Those are like settings you have to do once, and then voila, now your 3D printer is online, which you can connect it via the Wi-Fi. Else, if you're like me, whose router just below the table on which you're gonna put your 3D printer, so I don't need this Wi-Fi system because I can just directly connect it via Ethernet right there. So it's not a problem for me, but for you, you can use a dongle like this to connect it with a Wi-Fi. So before powering this thing, make sure you set this voltage meter right here. So I set it to like 230 volts because that's what like my country support. But if you're from like Northern America or places like that, so I go with 115, I believe. So Google it once if you don't know what the voltage you have to use. The hell is that? Is that a spider or something? Well, the best thing about the Elegoo printers are you can literally take the display on your hand like a smartphone, which I think are really best thing. But given that this comes with a clipper which you can connect it via internet to your PC, I think I don't ever gonna need this thing. And one thing I don't like once it's like the display start, they're still like showing the system is currently starting. Please wait. I don't like that. There's like too much waiting in this. So now there you go. You have like everything. These are like 4 options on the main screen. So first thing we're gonna go is to prepare. So on prepare, you can set home this 3D printer. I hope it's not too bright. And from here, you can control all the axes and home your 3D printer, and you can set how much millimeter it should move once you press this button. Then you down here you go, then you have like temperature. You can set the nozzle temperature, the bed temperature, or the default temperature of PLA, ABS, PETG, and TPU. And then you go down here you can say extruder, so you can feed in, load and load out the filament. And once that there was like all these things were in like prepared, then you go to settings. Here comes the language, well English, then they're like Espanol, Francese, Italiano, whatever language you prefer. Then the temperature setting, so you can set the temperature settings from here. So let's say you want to change the default setting of PLA, ABS and PETG for preheating purposes, you can do that from here. And then you got a light control. So this is like the headlight, and this one is for observational light. I think this is a really good feature that they have added in this 3D printer, because now you can observe your print and you can easily observe the layer shift if that happens with you, because on my Ender 3 it happens a lot and I unable to like identify is there a layer shift or not until I touch that print. So I think observation light is a really fantastic feature in this 3D printer. Then you have fan control, and given that, let me just show you the fan. This thing comes with the additional 4 fans behind this, and these are like super powerful fans, which is a really great thing for the fast printing, because you have to cool down every layer quickly as soon as possible before you put up the new layer. So when it comes to fast printing, I think this is a really exciting thing that they have added into this 3D printer. And let me show you how fast they are. So these fans, like the back one, are like super loud. So let me just show it to you. You can hear the voice, how like the sound, how fast they are. You might not able to hear my sound actually.
Then after the fan, you have motor on off button. Then you can disable or enable the filament detector. Then you have factory settings, which I think which is for like reset this thing to the factory default. Then you have about machine, and there you get the IP address, which I'm currently hiding, of course. And then you have like advanced setting. From here you can set the backlight of this thing high and low, for which I'm keeping at the middle. And then from here you can on and off the power loss recovery, which I think should be enabled. And then you can shut down this click sound of this thing for after every tap, so you can shut it from here or you can keep it. I'm gonna keep this thing, and there you go. These are settings. Then that's all. And then you have leveling option. Now you have to level this thing, which is like pretty important, because most people think that auto bed leveling is just comes with a sensor. You click on auto bed level and gonna level. No, it doesn't work like that. Let me just show it to you. Okay, so once you click on that level button, then click on confirm. Then this thing will gonna start homing itself. So after the homing, you get these digits. But I've already done the leveling thing, but I'm gonna just tell you, because you can see these are numbered like quite close, except the few -1, but you can see. So you have to make sure the distance between all these points are as low as possible. So for that, what you need to do, instead of going to automatic, first you have to click on auxiliary. And once you click on auxiliary like this, then you get the 4 points right here. Then gonna again the printer gonna home itself. So once you click on this button right here, one, this thing we're gonna go to this corner, and once it go there, you have to take the piece of paper, put it under it just like a normal manual bed leveling, and level it according to that. And once you've done that, then you click on second, then gonna go at the second place right there. Once it go there, then you're gonna again do that at this corner, and then you're again gonna click at 3, because I already done that, so I'm not gonna do that again because I done it like 2 times. Then again click at 4 right here, then you're gonna go at the 4th point. And once you set the bed right here, then you click on this middle button, which is home, then gonna go at the center of this build plate. So once it's gonna home, then it's gonna go to center, and you have to check. Now you cannot like rotate any wheels. You have to check whether it's leveled properly or not. And if there's like little bit less friction than comparison to the corner, that's not a problem. Then you just need to click on the back press, and there you go. Then there you get some auxiliary leveling completed option. Then you have to like confirm this thing, and there you go. So once again, the printer gonna do the auto bed leveling on this like 121 points, and the fan also started working because the extruder is heating at 140 degrees Celsius and the bed temperature at 30 degrees Celsius, because as you know, the metal expand under the heat. So that is why like heating itself, so that you can get a proper precise measurement. So it's gonna like go to like 121 points. It's gonna test like 121 points. So that will take like few minutes or a little bit more time than you think. So you have to like be patient. Once the auto bed leveling is done, just click on this confirm button. Now there you got all the digits right here, and you can see the distance is pretty high between all the points. So you can redo this thing again, and you can set the Z offset from here, and there you go. Now if you're like satisfied with all the settings, you can click on the save button, and that's all. You are done with the bed leveling. And once it's gonna save the data, now your all the data is saved. So installing the clipper is like pretty easy. Well, you don't have to install, like it's already running on clipper firmware, but connecting to your computer is pretty easy. So if you want to like connect it directly, all you need to do is to connect this thing Ethernet cable that comes with the printer. So you don't have to buy like additionally. This thing comes with the printer only. Then you just insert this thing into this Ethernet port, and there you go. That's all. Then you connect the other side of this thing of Ethernet cable that you have connected to your 3D printer to your router. That's all. Now your printer is literally connected to your computer. Well, connecting to your clipper, like connecting your printer with your PC is pretty easy with the Ethernet. All you just need to do is just plug in, and then you're gonna put the IP on the search bar, which you can get it from your 3D printer about screen, and there you go. Now you're like fully connected with your 3D printer. Make sure you're connected with the same network which your 3D printer is connected to. So this is like the main thing. Then only it's gonna work. So there you go. So we have like fluid here from which you can control your 3D printer. So you have like jobs, history, tuning. You can do the tuning, and best thing about clipper is you can get this
like visual idea how level your bed is, and mine one is like pretty unlevel, like you can see here. So I have to like fix this thing, because it is like visually you can like get a good sense how unlevel your bed is. And if it is flat, that's good. So you can change like the probe matrix, then the mesh matrix, and then you can click here like show flat plane, and then you get the more idea how unleveled your bed is. So this is like the really best thing, and you can like point it here and there, and then you can see in this color bar you're getting that digit how unleveled it is. So you can like fix this thing. From here you can control the extrude and heat, but it's pretty simple, just like octo print I would say. And from here you can like home your XYZ axis, which I'm currently homing, and from here you can home your Z axis. From here it's only X and Y, from here it can all your Z axis, or from here you can home like all the axes. And there you go. From here you can control the speed, like currently like 100% flow rate, and then the fan control, then the case light option too. So from here you can control the light of your 3D printer. And from here you get around like, I don't know, like I think you get like 1 gigabits of storage, internal storage, or I think 8. I clearly don't remember this thing, but you get enough storage. So like you can upload your 3D files by clicking here, and that's it. You can upload it here, your G code after slicing it, and that's it. So look how easy it is to print with clippers. You can get a like literal dashboard here, and then you can go to jobs, then click here, then click on upload, and there is a G code file right here. It's like 12 MB, and then gonna upload that G code file right here, and then that's it. Then click on that file, and then you're gonna get this print icon. Just click on it, and there you go. Now it's gonna start heating. First thing, it's gonna heat like the heat bed to 60 degrees Celsius, and then it's gonna heat the extruder. And here you can see all the progress. So first layer speed will be 25 millimeters a second, then gonna increase. I set the speed at around 300 millimeters a second, which is like optimal speed for this 3D printer, and I would not recommend go to like 500 millimeters a second for every goddamn print. I mean, that will not be like a really good thing. You have to compromise on the quality, and it's gonna take like 2 hours as I show it to you. And then gonna also shows the finish time right here according to your time zone. So that's it. So let's just wait for finishing it up. Okay, so while printing you get this kind of display right here. Even if you print with the clippers, then also you're still gonna get the information on your display. And from here you can control the speed of this machine, and from here you can also control the fan speed. So you can like 3 modes are here: silent, normal, and sport. These are like these modes are for those back 4 fans. And I believe there was like violent mode here, but they changed it to sports mode. I don't know why they did that, but that's okay, no problem. So if I click on sport, it's gonna start pushing a lot of air. Okay, so the print is done, and you can see it's looking like it's kind of good. I would say design is pretty awesome. If I tell you these lines act as a spring, and so does this one too. So loading is pretty easy. All you need to do is to hold it like a gun. Well, it's a Nerf gun, actually a mini one. And if I show you the size, just the size of my palm. So we have to push this thing back. It's kind of hard like if you use it as a normal gun. So what you need to do is just hold it like this, then it is like pretty simple. Just push it backward, and now it's locked here. That's really good. Now take the dart. I'm using this hook one. I found it on Thingiverse. I'm gonna give the link in the description if you want to print this thing. Now you're gonna shoot this thing. So look at how far it can go. So look there, and it went pretty far. I would say just like hit the curtain. So let me just do it once more. Well, I only printed 1 dot, so that's not an issue. So there you go. So we're gonna load this thing, and we're gonna shoot. And again, directly hit the curtain. So this design is functional, but I just printed like really fast speed, and this thing is like really smooth, I would say. Okay, so I have to share you one more tip or thing that most people know, but many don't. So the thing is, whatever speed you set here, like I set 350 millimeters. So while I was printing the previous model, I was doing little bits of research. So I found out like whatever speed you set. So if I set like 500 millimeter or whatever, it will not gonna run at 500 millimeters because there's a speed cap of 250 millimeter a second
by the company. So if you want to break this cap, all you need to do is to go to the clipper, and once you go to the clipper, from here, from the speed section, you can increase the speed. So let's say you set your slicing speed at 250 millimeter a second. From here, then after it started printing, you can increase the speed up to like 200 millimeter a second, which is almost a double. So like that, you can go to 250 millimeter of speed. Above that, I mean, like 500 millimeter a second, not 250. And which I would highly don't recommend that, because a bed slinger going at like 500 millimeter a second is kind of tough. But for some print, you're gonna do that, and so that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna so I found this STL file on printables.com. So you're gonna print this file at 500 millimeter a second, almost 200 the speed, and the vibration gonna be enormous, I know. And so you can see here I was gonna set like 250 millimeter a second, which is a cap, and it gonna took like 30 minutes, 29 minutes to be precise, and 22 grams of filament. So we're gonna do it before that by increasing the speed in our clipper firmware right here. So let's just do that. So the printer has completed like first few layers, so we're gonna increase the speed to 200 millimeters. So are you ready for that? So we're gonna do that. Okay, so first off, I started at like 260 millimeter. Like first one or two layer were at like normal pace of 150. Then I increased the speed by 100%. So now it was 200%, and it was printing at 260 millimeter second. After that, I increased it up to like 400 millimeter. Above that, like it went to like 520 millimeter at its peak until it started failing because of much lower base here. So it did not unable to stick well with the bed. But given that, I literally went to like 520 millimeters, and after that it just pop off. So yeah, I gradually increased that first 100%, then 200, then 300, then 400. At 400 it went to like 520 millimeters a second, which was quite amazing, I would say, given it's a bed slinger 3D printer under $300.